Now we're going to talk about Binance chain. We talked about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and at least mentioned those in the last talk here as reserve assets. Well, Binance kind of came out of it came from left field. I mean, and has become a major player. I think it's either third or fourth on the list of top projects in crypto right now after Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is a presentation on a short history on the many faces of Binance, the multiple aspects to it, and it has a few things that run through all the different aspects. The brand being maybe the most important, but the ingenuity of the founder is also keeping it up. So who started Binance? Well, his name is Changpeng Zhao, known affectionately to his fans as CZ. He's got good technical background. He was a developer, founded high frequency trading system company Fusion Systems in 2005, and then built exchange-like mechanisms at blockchain.info and OKCoin before starting Binance 2017 during the bull run in crypto that happened then. For context, Bitcoin started in 2009. Ethereum, I think, was 2014. So Binance has come along. So we're going to talk about the Binance Coin Bnb token, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. It's actually a couple of exchanges at least. Binance.com is the main exchange. It's kind of like the Fidelity of, or it's a broker for cryptocurrency, crypto trading. And because of regulatory issues, there are other ones, Binance.us, which we'll get into. Also, despite the fact that it started as an exchange, the Binance brand, CZ, has moved on to Binance Chain, its own blockchain, and a Binance Smart Chain, which has extra functionality as a blockchain. So Binance.com, you can see this is the homepage here. If you've never looked at it before, it's the largest cryptocurrency exchange by volume. This, I didn't realize until I took the screenshot that it was a bit self-serving of Binance, because they bought CoinMarketCap.com in maybe 2018. So they list themselves as the top cryptocurrency exchange, but I did fact check that. It's at least by volume, it's by far the biggest exchange. Coinbase here being number 2, but this isn't strictly by volume. It's by some proprietary thing that makes them the best, Binance. But anyways, it is the biggest by volume. So the question is nobody really knows where Binance is. It was founded in China in 2017, moved to Japan because China might be a familiar story to anyone paying attention to the crypto news these days. China banned crypto in September 2017. So before that, CZ moved Binance to Japan. And they created an office in Malta in 2018 to escape regulatory restrictions in both China and Japan. And then there are media reports saying that Binance is based in Malta, but then Malta said in February last year that Binance is not under its jurisdiction. Okay, how about the Cayman Islands? Well, Binance is listed in the business records of Cayman Islands as Binance Limited Holdings. So okay, so maybe it's a Cayman company. Nope. Cayman said in July of this year, just a couple months ago, that Binance is, quote, not registered, licensed, regulated, or otherwise authorized by the authority to operate a cryptocurrency exchange from or within the Cayman Islands. Okay, so where is this thing? Well, so Binance responded by saying it's always operated in a decentralized manner, does not run a cryptocurrency exchange out of the Cayman Islands, as reported. So it's the media saying it, not them. Okay. Well, I think this all just comes to CZ saying, okay, wherever I am, that's where Binance is. Wherever I need somebody, that's going to be Binance too. So it's an experiment in decentralization of exchanges, even though it's a central exchange server, or, on the internet. It's not a decentralized exchange in the sense that of Uniswap or something like that. So there've been regulations that Binance has run into. Regulators in the US, UK, lots of other places have either banned Binance or put significant restrictions on it, or just kind of announced investigations, to the point where in the US, the Department of Justice and the IRS are investigating money laundering and tax offense. Of course, these are terms that sound terrible. Money laundering. I want a token of someone doing money laundering. Well, that's just one of the old saws about crypto that governments don't like. So they use scary sounding terms like terrorism and money laundering. The UK also ordered Binance to stop regulated activity in the country. So in response to Binance.com being a problem for Americans, at least for the US government saying it's a problem, they created Binance.us, which is a slimmed down version of what Binance.com does. Doesn't have a bunch of different functionalities, but at least Americans can use it. Okay, so Binance Coin, as of a couple of days ago, its market cap was $64.8 billion. That compares to about $1 trillion for Bitcoin and about, I don't know, give or take 350 billion or 400 billion for Ethereum. So yeah, it's either the third or fourth spot, but pretty large. And it's got a different setup than a Binance or Ethereum does. It doesn't get mined. There are 200 million total Binance coins that can exist, that do exist, and the circulating supply is only 168 billion now, because the rest of them have been burned. I'll go into the burning mechanism in a second. So Binance Coin does two things. It's the native crypto of the Binance exchange, and it's also the native crypto token of the Binance chain and the Binance Smart Chain. It came into existence in an ICO, initial coin offering, on Ethereum in July of 2017. And there, as I said, there were 200 million BNB tokens. 10% were sold. This might look similar to anyone who's been looking at the unit sale kind of setup, like 10 cent, 20 cent, 40 cent. But 20 million of the tokens, 10%, were sold to angel investors. 80 million, 40% were to the founding team, and then 100 million, the remaining 50%, to people that were just buying them in the ICO process. So it started as the exchange token for Binance.com and became the native coin of the Binance chain. Almost half. Now, a huge difference from Unit is that the money is not transparently visible in a treasury or a bank. It's just used for operations. So they raised that money, and we're going to use almost half the funds to be used for Binance branding and marketing, while about a third of them were used to build the platform and do upgrades. So as an exchange token, it is a utility token. It offers Binance users a 25% discount when they use it to do trades, margin or spot trades. It's in a similar theme to the later use of the Binance Smart Chain. Users only pay 0.1% to do a trade on Binance.com, which is I think it's the lowest in the world, if not, it's among the lowest in the world. That because of that low cost, they have a lot of transactions, really massive volume when compared to other exchanges. 1.4 million transactions per second and 2 billion per day. So that 0.1% adds up, and of course they make money. So and the Binance coin can be used for some other things too, so high volume trading discounts and as a trading pair. So what happens with that money that Binance makes? Well, they've pledged it's not written into the code or anything, but they've pledged to use a fifth of their profits, 20%, to repurchase and permanently destroy or burn some of those 200 million Binance tokens. So you can kind of back into how much money they're making by how much they burn, assuming that they're being honest. So the latest BNB burn came in July, and they burned about $390 million US dollars worth of tokens. It was their 16th, so every quarter they do it. So it's a 16th quarterly burn, and it's the second largest. The first one was in March, and they burned about $600 million of BNB. Of course, BNB was higher priced then too. So the supply is now down to about 1.69, I think it's 1.68. Sorry, 169 million remaining floating BNB tokens. So that's that latest burn suggests they could have profited by about $2 billion in the second quarter. Nice business. Binance Chain is the next iteration of the Binance brand. So first was the Binance.com and the various Binance.us, etc. Binance Chain was launched as a decentralized exchange. We're talking about centralized exchanges, and Binance being one of those. Well, they launched a decentralized exchange, DEX, which was, instead of riding on top, like, you know, if you have Uniswap or SushiSwap or some of the decentralized exchanges out there now trading on Ethereum or other blockchains, they're built on that blockchain as an application. Well, the Binance DEX is built into the Binance Chain. It's natively integral to the Binance Chain, but it does not support smart contracts like Ethereum does. So it's great for people. It's great for having one order book on the Binance Chain, but it does not support other applications on top of it. So the point is, once this Binance Chain was created, the Ethereum-based, the ERC20, the Ethereum-based Binance coin that was created in 2017, is now moved over to the Binance Chain. So it no longer is an Ethereum-based token. It's on its own chain, so Binance Chain. Instead of ERC20, it's BEP2. All right. So one of the things about this. Oops. Yeah. So Binance DEX. I want to talk about proof of stake. So Ethereum and a lot of other blockchains are moving from the traditional model of proof of work, where like Bitcoin, computers run and try to solve a ridiculous problem, and then they're essentially mining. They're using energy to solve the problem, and they get paid a new Bitcoin that gets mined into existence. Well, proof of stake is the next evolution, where it's a lot less energy use, and Ethereum is moving to proof of stake. There are a lot of other blockchains that are using proof of stake. Proof of stake, the idea is that if you own the token, you can stake it in a node, and instead of doing a bunch of mining, as long as there are enough nodes out there, they each have the opportunity to verify the transaction happening on the blockchain, and they get paid some of their native tokens. So Ethereum holders get paid Ethereum for staking Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, etc. Well, delegated proof of stake, which is what Binance uses, is not nearly as decentralized, because if you have proof of stake, you can have a huge number of different stakers, and they all have a small chance of getting some of the staking rewards. So the idea is that it is sufficiently decentralized by having all these stakers all over the place. Delegated proof of stake has only 21 handpicked stakers. So in this case, on the Binance chain, CZ chose 21 people, I guess, or 21 nodes. And what you give up in that decentralization, you get in speed. So going back to how Binance only charges 0.1%, Binance.com for a trade, while doing a trade on Binance chain, and similarly the Binance Smart Chain, which I'll talk about in a second, is ridiculously fast and ridiculously cheap. but we have some kind of a trust that we're placing in those nodes that were handpicked. So you can do really fast trades, but and they have, and they've gotten a lot of traction by doing that. It's a huge number of transactions, and the small fee that they take really adds up. I won't go into too much into the Binance DEX here. So that's delegated proof of stake versus proof of stake. BNB is the native token there. So BNB, yeah. So BNB is widely accepted and used across Binance chain and Binance Smart Chain. It's the native token, like Ethereum. You have to spend some Ethereum to use the Ethereum blockchain. Similarly, you have to spend some BNB to use the Binance chain and Binance Smart Chain. The Binance Smart Chain is different from the Binance chain in that it does allow for smart contracts. So it's quite integrated with the Binance chain to the point where you really just use Binance Smart Chain instead of Binance chain itself. But so it's massive growth. It's one of the leading ecosystems, but it's less decentralized, as I mentioned. It added extra functionality, so you can build all kinds of decentralized applications or all kinds of applications on the Binance Smart Chain. It was developed in response to super high fees on Ethereum. It was very slow and expensive to use Ethereum for all kinds of decentralized finance applications, DeFi applications. So, like for example, Uniswap and SushiSwap were built on Ethereum. Well, PancakeSwap, because it's unregulated and the names are not, there's almost like poking a joke at things or playing a joke. I call it PancakeSwap. That was built on the Binance Smart Chain. Well, it was a lot faster and cheaper, so the transactions shot through the roof, and those little BNB fees that people had to pay, they really added up. So it gained a lot of popularity, the Binance Smart Chain, because of is filling that gap of cost and speed that Ethereum left. It's a Binance Smart Chain. It supports a huge number of platforms now, cross collateral or cross chain platforms, like I say, PancakeSwap, but 1inch is also on Ethereum, and it supports a number of blockchains. So they're really becoming more interoperable than they originally were. As you can see, the mentioned the transactions. So as of a couple of days ago, Binance Smart Chain was processing 5 times the amount of transactions that Ethereum's all-time high in transactions was, about 5.6 million daily transactions. It's down from the highest ever that it was in May, at the height of before the recent sort of downturn in crypto, but still it's super high, 5.6 million versus 1.1 million. You can compare. So Polygon is a new player in the space too. Polygon sort of interacts with Ethereum. So Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain and Polygon, you compare them here. The most active addresses. These are not the most addresses that have ever been created, but ones that people use. Binance Smart Chain is by far the highest, over 1 million daily active addresses. So people are concerned about the lack of decentralization, but users speak, I guess. I mean, the market is deciding that, yes, we like decentralization and security, but also we like low cost and speed. And maybe these other ones will be able to catch up. But CZ has kind of pulled a few rabbits out of the hat over time. So maybe he'll pull out another one when competition comes for this space in the market. Yeah, as I mentioned, there's massive growth, and this is not the active addresses. This is actual just addresses. So it's like it continued to soar almost to 100 million total Binance Smart Chain addresses as of today. And it only really took off from like 650 million, I think, or 650,000 in February to almost 100 million. I think I wrote down the number. It's like 17,000% growth, not annualized, just 17,000% growth in addresses. So yeah, BNB is needed to pay gas fees. It's the same thing we were talking about with Ethereum, but basically the gas fees help deter spam. So because you can't just like do endless transactions And despite the fact that proof of delegated stake mining is cheaper than proof of work mining, it still has some costs. And like you have to have a good internet connection, good hardware and use some energy. So getting paid in BNB to stake your BNB covers those costs and hopefully make a profit too. I think the yield right now is about 11 or 12%, and you get paid every day if you stake your BNB token. So it's pretty sizable. Compare that to, any dividend or interest payment you're getting out there in the traditional stock market or bond market. So the top 10 projects on Binance Smart Chain, PancakeSwap's number 1 there. This is by total value locked, which is a kind of a term of art for decentralized finance. DeFi is essentially just how much value is locked here, then it's earning a fee for trading fees, like on a decentralized exchange, or staking fees, for so how much value has this particular platform attracted, and that's how we rank DeFi projects. A lot of the time is based on how much is locked. So PancakeSwap has over $10 billion locked. All these platforms do different things. So hopefully we can get a number of the founders of these or people that are associated with them to come speak in the World Finance Forum on October 21st. Which is coming up, as you can see, October 21st. Hope you're all there, and I hope we have a nice turnout of speakers as well as attendees, speakers being attendees as well. We'll have 100 industry leaders and participants, and it'll be good. 10 hours or 50 hours of live content if you add up all the different speakers. And if you want to be a speaker, please go to unitconference.com and sign up. Or you can use this form or this link that will take you to the right form. If you want to get involved with Unit, reach out to us. Here's the contact info. And any questions you guys have?
Hey Joe, it's Thorn here. I was wondering just what the sort of developer access to the smart chain ecosystem really is. Is it as easy to kind of get involved and actually develop applications as it is with projects like Ethereum? And did Binance also create its own sort of language? Because I know that Ethereum has Solidity that it uses, and Polkadot uses Substrate. So did the Binance guys kind of get their own language whipped up, or how do they go about doing it?
I don't know if they have their own language. I do know that it's as easy. I mean, my understanding is it is as easy to create an application on Binance Smart Chain as it is on Ethereum. It's meant to be easy to do that. I don't know if it requires a different language though.
All right, awesome.
Beyond my technical knowledge at this point. Good question that I'd like to find out myself.
Great. I'm blown away to see like what the active wallets are compared to Ethereum and also Matic as well. I think that's like a really awesome stat, because everyone's always harping on about how much disruption and how much activity is happening within the Ethereum ecosystem. But when you kind of look at it under this light, you can really see that the Binance Smart Chain has really swooped in to take like a really big part of the market share of activity there as well.
I don't think there are nearly as many new things being developed on Binance Smart Chain as there are on Ethereum. I think it's just like a lot of users, because like I personally back in January, the first, not for day of the week, the first month of the year, I started using PancakeSwap because I was like, well, if I want to buy something, I'll just buy the peg token over here. Instead of paying $100 for a trade, I'll pay like 10 cents, And but it's a lot of people are using it. I don't know that there are as many people developing on it. I don't think there are. I think Ethereum is by far the leader there.
Yeah, sure. But just in terms of like activity, I guess, because so much of what's happening on the Ethereum network is it's quite abstract, and so much of like the sort of retail market can't really get involved just yet. But of course, you do have like a lot of very famous projects. But yeah, still, Binance that took me by surprise.
Yep. Anthony, did you have your hand up a while ago? Was that from before? You're on mute.
I did not have my hand up, sorry.
No? Okay.
Maybe it was up, but I didn't know it was up.
That was up, I think, at the beginning. I just wanted to come back to you.
From the last one, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe, this is Ankur here. Firstly, thank you for both the talks on money and BNB. It was very, very insightful and interesting. Joe, my one question is on the Binance delegated nodes. These 21 nodes that you mentioned, if you know that, are they constant all the time, or do they keep changing?
They are, I think there are maybe, there are like 4 or 5 that are inactive at a time. Okay. You can see those if you go to the, I don't know the site, but it's easy to find just if you look up Binance validators. But yeah, there are 21. They all have they have the same name, but once in a while, one of them goes inactive for like a day or something. I don't know why. But 21 of them at a time are active. So I think there might be like 4 or 5 more kind of on the bench or something.
Right, got it. Thank you.
Maida, do you have any thoughts?
Me?
Yeah, do you have any thoughts or question?
Not of my own on this matter.
Okay. That's yeah. For those of you who are not paying close attention, that's a line from Good Will Hunting.
So after Joe's next presentation, we all are invited to go to room number 3 to get a group photo.
Oh yeah.
But in half an hour, not now.
All right.